Over. Oh, and thank you all for clicking whatever button Zoom asks you to click for the recording. And let me make sure my is on speaker view. It is. And now I pass it over to my friend, the wonderful Mariella. Thank you, Mariella, for leading us today in this sit.
Thank you, Brian, for the wonderful introduction to you. And again, thank you everyone for being here. So we're gonna practice for about 20 minutes or so. So if you like to find a position that feels comfortable, relaxed, alert, trusting your body to know what's best, what position fits best right now. If you want to keep your camera off, as many of you already did, feel free to do that, keep it on. If you like to close your eyes or keep them slightly open. And I am going to ring a bell to sign up beginning of practice and at the end of practice. So if you like, you can use the sound of the bell as a way to bring all of your attention to this moment. And just bringing all of your attention to the present moment, to the here and now. You might want to start by taking a couple of deeper breaths. Taking a deeper inhale through the nose and a deep exhale through the nose. And really arriving all of the attention to this moment, to the body. With your next inhale, invite the body to soften. Invite a sense of relaxation into the body. And with the exhale, releasing any tension that you're aware that is present right now. Dropping down the shoulders, softening the jaw. See if you need to make any adjustments to the posture. And taking a moment to also orient yourself in the space you're in by noticing the different sounds around you. Noticing smells. Feeling the temperature of the space you're in. And coming back to sensations in the body. Notice the different points of contact of the body with the chair, the cushion, the sofa, whatever object you are sitting or laying down on. Notice sensations in the back. Always bringing a sense of curiosity. Notice sensations in the sit bones area. Sensations in the legs, the soles of the feet. Taking a moment to also acknowledge the ground underneath you, the earth holding you, holding us all. And for the next few moments, just resting in the awareness of what is it like to be alive, to be human in this body. Inviting curiosity, kind attention. And let yourself witness what is it like to be alive in this human body. Nowhere to go and nothing to do. Just simply being here. Now bringing the attention to the experience of the breath in the body. See if you can locate where in the body you experience the breath most strongly right now. And just allow yourself to rest the attention there. That may be in the tip of the nostrils as you notice the sensations, and the tip of the nostrils when the air is coming in and the air is leaving the body. Maybe breath is most present for you right now in the rising and falling of the chest, perhaps the belly area. So just find where is the easiest for you to experience the breath, to rest the attention there. If for any reason the breath doesn't feel like a safe place right now, that's okay. You can find a different anchor. Maybe bringing awareness to the soles of the feet or sound. But if you can, rest in the awareness in the breath. Notice the different characteristics of the breath. You don't need to make the breath happen. The body knows how to breathe. You are just here witnessing the body breathing with kindness. Very naturally, the mind will have something to say. It will get carried away with sounds. That's not your anchor, with images, thoughts, stories. And that's completely normal. That's to be expected. And when you notice that the mind drifted away, just very kindly, gently return the attention back to feeling the breath. And see if you can really drop the attention in the felt sense, not think about the breath, really feeling the breath. Feeling the aliveness of this moment with each breath. The breath can teach us how to trust. Trusting that the inhale will come, the exhale will follow, and the breath is always in the present moment. And expand the attention now to the whole entire body. As the body continues to breathe, expanding the attention, becoming aware of the rest of the body. And very gently scanning the body from head to toes, taking a moment to recognize the physical body, the sensations that are present in the physical body. So taking a moment to recognize the sensations that are pleasant, those that are unpleasant, and even those that are neutral, even though it's harder to notice those because they're less interesting for the mind. But they are there. So recognize what's present to the best of your ability. See if you can allow the sensations to be here just for one moment without wishing that they are any different than what they are. What creates our suffering is what we think about the experiences that we're having. So in this practice, we are cultivating, letting the sensations, these experiences be here as they are to the best of our abilities. Maybe you can also take a moment to recognize the activity of the mind, that thinking is happening without getting involved with stories or what he has to say. Just noticing that thoughts are present, thinking is coming. That this experience is impermanent, it's changing. Thought, it's arising and passing by. And also take a moment to recognize what's in the heart space right now, the emotions that are present. Again, just very mindfully acknowledging the emotions to the best of your ability. See if you can allow those emotions to be here, even if it's just for one moment. This is a practice of a moment to moment awareness. So we can begin each moment. See if you can allow the whole experience of this moment to be here, including sensations, thoughts, emotions. You are just witnessing this changing experience. Holding it in loving awareness, with tenderness, with kindness. This is what it's like to be human in this body right now. There might be situations or this moment might feel difficult to be in the presence of, to let it be here just fully, and that's okay. You can always bring awareness to that, to the fact that this feels painful, hard to accept, to allow it to be here. And not judge the judgment. This is all welcome here in this space, all of you. The pleasant, the unpleasant experiences. The painful, we're practicing being with what is. So you do that to the best of your abilities, and knowing that whenever anything feels overwhelming, you can just go back to resting attention in the breath. Maybe taking one more deep inhale and a deep exhale, and notice what has changed from beginning of practice to now. And as we approach the end of this time together in this practice, I would like to invite you by end with bringing attention to gratitude. And find something that you can be grateful for in this moment. Maybe a part of the body, a person, an object, an event, a pet, whatever that is, and notice where and how in the body gratitude is experienced, how gratitude feels in the body. And also take a moment and find gratitude for yourself for having made the time to be here and to be with you in this way. You could have been doing something completely different, but you chose to be here. Maybe placing one hand or two in the heart space. Really honoring yourself. It's very brave to sit with us. To me, this is an act of radical love and radical acceptance. Maybe this is something that also resonates with you. And when I ring the bell, I'd like to invite you to see if you can continue bringing this kind of awareness of curiosity about the moment to moment experience, kindness, and non-judgmental attitude to the best of your abilities. And make the rest of your day a continuation of your practice. The practice doesn't stop here. The rest of your day can be a continuation of your practice. And when you are ready, bring in movement to the body, gently without rushing, opening the eyes and letting light, colors, shapes come to you. And when you're ready, join back on the screen. Thank you all for your practice, for being here again. Thank you and welcome to those that join us halfway through the seat. I'm very excited about our topic today and our wonderful speaker, Chance. And I now pass it on to Brian and Chance to hear it and talk about art, music, speaks to the soul. And it could be a soul language of the soul, seems like to me.
Thank you so much, Mariella. Yeah, thanks for leading us in that sit. Yeah, and hello, hello, and welcome to some who joined mid-sit. We're still the InsightLA Mindfulness and Deep Suffering Practice Group, and uh, April is our birthday month, so we're having some very special teachings this month, and today is very special. We have the wonderful Chance Kaleolani here, and again, thank you so much, Chance, for being here to talk about music and art and emotions. Um, not all of uh, not not all of us have um, the affinity or the connection I wish that I had more of a connection to music because I really want more of a connection to my emotions. So listening to other people's music and other people's art helps me. Maybe someday I'll be able to find a way to get music out of me. But in the meantime, I get so much out of other people's music and their art. And I'm so glad that you're here. Thank you so much for sharing your heart, your experience, your music, your voice, and also after your teaching and your sharing to also maybe answer some questions and be in community with us. So thank you, Chance, so much. And over to you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, really appreciate the warm welcoming and the beautiful meditation and all of your kind words. Um, Before I jump into what I want to talk about today, I just want to piggyback off a little bit of what you said, Brian, about wishing so much that you had that connection to music. And I think something that's so misunderstood about music is that you don't have to make it to you don't have to be physically singing a song of I wrote this song, I'm singing the song that I wrote, to be connected to music, to be even a maker of music. Music is a conversation, and it doesn't exist without somebody else listening to it. So I can make all the music in the world, and I can play it in my room, and I can sing it to myself, and that's beautiful, and I have a conversation with myself. But it's a whole other experience when that conversation is with another human being. And so I would invite you into the perspective of you totally are, all of you are makers of music. With everything you do, your breath is music. The way we speak is the different words we use. Those are different frequencies that are creating a song. So our entire life is a song. It's a long, really long album that we're curating and constantly shifting and molding in different ways. And yeah, so I just wanted to start with that of we are all just really allowing all of you to fully claim that of we are all here as music makers, conversationalists, artists, whatever it is that feels scary to claim. I just totally invite all of you to just fully be that is me. And that takes time too. It doesn't just happen of okay, cool, thanks, Chance, I'm gonna do it right now. And I understand the patience that it takes, and also to have that invitation open of we are all here for the same thing, all here to feel connected in some way. So with that being said, my name is Chance Kaleolani, and I am a musician, an artist, a healer. Been making music since I was in the womb, and then outside of it started playing instruments. Yeah, ever since I was very, very small, I've had a very open vessel, a very open container, I guess, for other spirits and other godly presences to speak through me and to use me as a vessel for their message. And so music is really what that is for me. So I channel medicine music to, my mission is to restore the sacred soul. And I think when we say medicine music, there's kind of this association with it, that it's this one genre. And I'm working to break that barrier of all medicine is music, or all music is medicine. I guess the other way too. But yeah, that every single song, no matter what genre, holds some sort of medicine, and that's why we all feel so connected to it. So what I wanted to talk today about is what it feels like, what it looks like, what it smells like, all of the things, what it really feels like to be fully present with every part of yourself, what it feels like to fully welcome all of the parts of you back into your body and stand firm in them in your own home, which is this physical vessel that we've been given. So welcoming all of those parts of us, the parts of us that feel scary, the parts of us that we maybe don't even want to look at, maybe we don't even know exist in us because we've been so afraid or have had so many emotions about looking at that part of ourselves. And how do we welcome all of it and say, I love you and I want you here? And that's where like true belonging comes from. And Adam, I love that that's what your check-in was about, was you said the word belonging, and that really resonated with me, of like when we welcome every inch of ourselves to fully be present and to fully be accepting and inviting of us, we feel a sense of belonging, or we can feel a sense of belonging. And in that, the healing journey is completely unique to every single person. It is not a copy paste. It is incredibly specific to each person, each spirit, each body. And when I think a lot of comparison can come up when we're on a healing process of some sort, whether that be physical, emotional, mental, like all sorts of different healings. When I've noticed for me, when I start comparing of like, well, that person is kind of doing it faster, or like that person is like doing some sort of like ritual over there, maybe I should like try that, or like, well, this person's like writing a song about it, maybe I should do that. Like when I start going outside of myself and looking at everybody else and saying, okay, well, you're healing this way, so it seems to be working from where I am, maybe I should do that. It's such a thief of our own experience. Comparison is the thief. It takes that individual sovereignty away from us and says, no, you can't be unique in this. You have to do it like them because they're doing it right. But there's literally no right and wrong in healing. That doesn't exist. They're not in the same realms. So for me, understanding that has allowed me to bring humor into my comparing, where I'm like, that's kind of funny. Like, this isn't even the same realm. And somehow part of me is wanting to make them compact into the same thing. And they just can't. They don't exist in the same field. So with the healing of its uniqueness, with that also comes this reclaiming and remembering and returning to our intuition, and which is just self-trust. I feel like intuition can feel like a big word, and is kind of being passed around a lot right now in a lot of different communities, and I think sometimes can feel overwhelming. And really what it is just self-trust. It's just being very clear in yourself of like, I know what's good for me and I trust that I will follow that. And on my own journey, I've had a really big experience of not listening to what I know is best for me, not doing the thing that actually feels good, saying yes when I mean no, whatever it is, like all of these small, what I perceived as small moments in my life built up to this big story, because it's just a story, this big story inside of me that I'm not trustworthy and that I can't trust myself. So of course I'm going to go outside and look for how to heal in other people, instead of saying all I ever will need is within me. And I fully trust that. And what is meant for me will not pass me by. It will never pass me by. And what passes me by was never meant for me. So cultivating self-trust, building a relationship with our own inner compass, all of these are steps into like cultivating a relationship with our truest, most purest essence. And I think that's part of the reason that everyone is on this group is the dedication to self, the dedication to showing up authentically, the dedication to being in community and being seen in vulnerability. All of that is our purest essence. And that's what drives our need for vulnerability, our need for love, our need for belonging, all of this. And we have that within us at all times. And it just takes reprogramming and remembering and like getting clear on what are the illusions that are here that are trying to like push me into different paths that are actually not keeping me on the track of like, I know who I am. I trust that I'm going to make the decision that's best for my healing. I will heal. I am healed. I am healing. And really owning that, even if in the moment you're like, this is so not real. I do not feel healed. Are you kidding me? I feel so broken. I feel like a mess. Everything in my life is chaotic. I've got all these big emotions in my backpack of feelings, and you're telling me just to be like, no, I know who I am. Of course, that's going to feel huge. And then there's the part of our brain that's telling us that that's not acceptable and we can't actually do that, but we can. We absolutely can. And that is what I'm talking about with the self-trust. Saying, okay, there's two voices right now. There's this one inside of me that's saying, I have everything that I'll ever need. I am on the right path. I am love. Nothing can break that. Nothing can penetrate the barrier of my self-trust, of my self-love. And then there's this other voice that's saying, but look at all these reasons why that's not true. Look at this proof, and I'm going to show you another instance, and I'm going to all of this chatter. And when I sit with that in my body, when I sit with those two voices in my body and I say, okay, which one feels like love? Which one feels like presence? Which one feels like serenity? It's never been the chatter. I've never felt loved by my chatter. I've never felt present. I've never felt held. I've never felt supported. But the part of me that says, I got you, and I love you, and I'm here, and you know what's up, and you're doing great. Feel loved by that part of myself every single time she speaks. So the first song that I would love to share with you all is called Eleanor. And it's a little bit about my healing, suffering journey. When I was in high school, I lost a really close friend of mine. She passed away, and this song was how I moved through that. And it was coming to the realization that my relationship with her now through spirit realms is way more stronger, way more beautiful than it was on physical realms, because there was so much on the physical realm that was keeping us fighting, that was keeping us in like this ego relationship that didn't feel pure. And now that she's passed, there's all of that has been cleared, and I've been able to fully step into like a deep, loving relationship with her. So that's what this first song is about.
Don't cry for me. I don't need your tears. We were mean, we were cruel, but we had our moments of love. Now you're gone, we don't speak, but I sure would like to repeat those moments of love. What if all our fights had been misguided, immature and over dramatic? I'm scared to lose my memories of you. What if all I have of us leaves me too? I've been grieving you alone. Don't know if these words are supposed to help me, but it's cruel to keep you locked up inside. You're more than what's in my mind. You're everything in my life. What if all our laughter can't live through me? Resiliency has a high potency, but I'm scared to lose my memories of you. What if all I have of us leaves me too? So forgiveness holds my heart, but regret is where it starts. Eleanor.
So that was Eleanor. That was also the first song that I ever wrote for that album. Yeah, and I think what wants to be shared about that is just that there are so many different ways that we can like create our suffering into something beautiful, into something heartwarming, into something that opens us up even more. And each person has their own unique medicine, has their own unique purpose, destiny. Everybody has their own gift that the world is just waiting and is in desperate need of. And it's going to look different than anybody else's. It's never going to look the same. It's never going to be the same. Even if we literally try and copy somebody else's, it's going to be different because the soul that it's coming out of is different. And that's something that I've really learned from emotions, is that my emotions are teachers. My emotions are communicators of something within me that is wanting to be seen, that is wanting to be loved. And I can't even count on my hands the amount of times that I've pushed them away and said, well, I don't really want to feel that. I'm not really interested in looking at that. That is way too big. That is really painful, and I'm really not interested in feeling it. No, thank you. And I think it was for me, I think it was because I wasn't fully stepping into the trust, my self-trust, that I can feel this without it breaking me. No matter how big it is, I can feel it all the way through, and it will not break me. Because what's happening inside of me may feel massive, but it is never more powerful than me. My emotions can never take control of me. They can never fully grab onto me and tell me, this is what you're going to do for the rest of your life, and go into some sort of chaotic, manic mode. If I stand so strong, and by strong, I don't mean, I don't feel anything and I'm here. But if I stand strong in my softness, if I stand strong in my fragile essence, if I stand strong in my vulnerability, that's the strength that allows me to say, thank you, emotion. You may move all the way through me and then release you. Because the truth is, our emotions and how present we are willing to be with ourselves is how much our heart is going to open up to us. I think a lot of the time we get into relationships with other people, and we both want our partners. Everyone wants their partners to open up to them and be vulnerable, and we want to know about them, and we want to know their story, and we want to know their emotions because we love them and we cared for them, and we're so intrigued by their soul, and we want to know their soul. And I think it's important also to say, I'm remembering now that I have to allow my heart to open up to me as well, not just my partner who's outside of me, but allowing my heart to open up to me, the person who I love the most and have also had the most pain from, and at times have hated. I have hated myself, but I've loved myself at the same time. To open my heart to that person leads to so much power, leads to so much sovereignty, leads to so much grace and understanding of who I am and what I'm here to do and why I was put here to do it. So our presence with ourselves is the key to our heart. It's the key that opens up us. It opens up everything within us and says, here I am. Here I am. That's it. And knowing, and really, really knowing that the world needs my medicine and the world needs your medicine, whatever it is. Whether it's you're a musician or you're an artist or you're a mother or you're a father, you're a sister, you're somebody's family member, you're somebody who feels. Your medicine could be just that you are a human being that is on the earth and is feeling something. That is one of the most medicinal things in the world. Because I have been in many situations where I've looked for healing and I've been like, I really need to heal this part of myself. Like, this is really bringing me down and I'm feeling depressed and I'm feeling like I'm majorly suffering. And have gone into all these different realms of like, maybe this will help and maybe this will help. Sometimes all it takes is just to sit down and be like, I am a feeling human being. And then sitting in front of another human being that's also feeling and saying, oh, look, we're both feeling something really big or something really small. Doesn't really matter because it feels big no matter what it is. And that's what heart medicine is allowing your heart to open and blossom and become like sprout and become this beautiful blooming essence of who you are. And it can feel subtle, it can feel big, it can feel multitudes of ways. But the world needs that from you. And this suffering that we can fall into and spiral in. I have been there. I have been in so many places in my life where I felt deep soul suffering and felt like this is not fixable. And then realizing, oh, that's where my perspective is making this hard. It's not something to fix. I'm not trying to fix myself here. All I need to do is feel it. And that is really hard. That's not easy to sit down and just feel something all the way through. And it's what this emotion is asking of me. And so now there's conflict inside of me because the emotion is saying, please just feel me. That is all I'm needing right now. Please feel me. Because our feelings are like little children who come to us and they say, excuse me. Maybe not excuse me. Sometimes you're like, hello, all up in our face. But they come to us and they're like, please love me. Can you see me? Hello, I'm right here. And I'm going to make myself even bigger because you're not looking at me. And all I'm wanting is you to look at me so I can feel loved. So if we can treat our emotions like children, like our own inner children, like maybe if you have a child, if there's children in your world, imagine that little human being coming up to you and saying, excuse me, can I please have your attention for like 2 minutes? Your undivided attention when you are only solely focused on me and I can feel your presence in my body. Oh, great, I can? Okay, 2 minutes goes by. Cool, thanks. I'm gonna go play on the playground. That's all they are. So this next song that I'm gonna play is called Love Warrior. And it's a term that I really began owning with every step that I take of being a warrior and being strong and being able to fight, but knowing that that only comes from this part of me that knows how to love. The part of me that knows how to be resilient and get through things and push through things and find my way, that only exists because I know how to deeply love and be deeply soft and tender with myself and other people. So this next song is called Love Warrior.
teachings along the way. Release, renew, and rise into your truth. Forgive the times I gave my power to another soul. It is safe to make mistakes. I'm allowed to learn. Calling in light, I'm calling in love. Got these bare feet singing Pachamama. Father Sky tells me patience, child. I choose myself in doing so. I open up my heart to grow with you. I choose myself, and in doing so, I open up my heart to grow with you. With you. Pele, oh Pele, Kaleolani. We are one. I said Pele, oh Pele, Kaleolani. We are one. I choose myself, and in doing so, I open up my heart to grow with you. I choose myself, in doing so, I open up my heart to grow with you. With you. And I listen to the whisper that calls out yes. Oh, I listen to the whisper that calls out yes. As I sing to the forest, her rain comes down. And I sing as a prophet, my legacy is found. I'm sorry, please forgive me. Thank you, I love you. I'm sorry, I forgive you. I say thank you, and I love you, and I forgive myself for loving you. I forgive myself, and I forgive you. I forgive. I forgive you.
Thank you. So that one was actually forgive. So we'll talk about, that's okay. So we'll talk about forgive now, which was going to be the next one anyway, but that's great. Yeah, so that song was called Forgive. And my whole album the whole thing is called Forgive. And that's really because for the past year and a half, I really dedicated myself as a student of forgiveness and understanding and moving through all the different layers of forgiveness and what that looks like in life and what that feels like in my body. And I realized that with all the different layers of forgiveness, the one that has felt like I just keep returning to it, like it just keeps pulling me back, is forgiveness of self. And understanding that I can forgive other people. And I also see that it's much harder for me to forgive myself. And so I really dived into why that was for me, why I felt like it was so much easier for me to look at somebody else and say, I forgive you, and then not forgive myself. And I realized because there was this constant self-betrayal that was happening, where I wasn't actually forgiving people, I was just allowing them to continue causing pain in my life. And that's when it really hit me of like, oh, I am dedicating myself as a student of forgiveness because what I have been raised to know as forgiveness is not forgiveness. It's tolerating. And I don't want to live in a life of tolerance. I want to live a life of forgiveness. And there's a very big difference, but they can often feel the same, especially in the ways that we're taught by whatever it is, like outside mainstream, social media, different religions, all of these different things play a part in it. So understanding that I was tolerating and not forgiving was a very big opening for me, very big realization of completely rewriting what I had known about forgiveness and seeing that forgiveness is actually nothing to do with the other person. It is a releasing of them and whatever has happened between me and them that's felt painful, but it's more than that. It's saying what happened doesn't feel okay for my body, doesn't feel okay for my spirit and my heart, and I'm not interested in continuing in that way. And I forgive you by allowing that to dissolve, but I don't have to hold on to that forever and feel this constant pain inside of myself. Because what I noticed is that I went back and forth between like, okay, I've just been tolerating this whole time, like forgiveness is a lie. And so then went to the total opposite side of the spectrum of like, well, I can't forgive anybody because then they get away with everything. And then coming back into the middle of like, oh no, it has nothing to do with them. It's about allowing me to live freely without pain around something that has happened with somebody else. And that comes back to forgiving myself for whatever allowance or whatever part I played in that. And obviously I'm speaking just from my perspective, and there's other, experiences where I understand that there is one person that is probably more heavily influenced on the suffering. And in my experience of what I felt, forgiving myself was a complete reclaiming of my divine presence, of my medicine, of my power. And it was a releasing of, I don't need to hold that pain in order to make it, to have some sort of closing circle, or have some sort of like, oh, I feel at ease, I feel peace now because they said sorry to me. And when I fully just reclaimed of like, I can do this whole process on my own without that other person and I don't need them involved in it, forgiving became much more about my connection to myself and my purest essence than it did with anybody else outside of me, while also understanding tolerance versus forgiveness and really owning that difference. So that was forgive. And yeah, now I'm going to play Love Warrior for my last song and then hand it back to Brian. And before I just play the song, I would just like to say thank you so much to all of you for being open to listening to me and for your ears and your eyes and your hearts and everything else that you brought to the table today. Thank you for all of the emotions that may have come up for you in this conversation. And yeah, it really means so much to be in a safe space where I can share what I've been learning with other students of life. And yeah, if you would like to continue following me and supporting me, I would so appreciate that. And I'll drop links in the chats of my Spotify and my Instagram. And I also do, I'm in Santa Fe, New Mexico, but if any of you are ever here or if I'm in California, I do group settings as well as private sessions and other sort of concerts and gigs. So if any of that interests you, I'd love to hear from you. So this is Love Warrior, and thank you so much.
There's angels in my mind. There's angels in my mind. There's angels in my mind. Ooh, there's angels in my mind. When I speak my words to spirit, she guides me with her light. So I trust this pain has purpose, for we are all divine. Divine. Ooh, I embrace this life, 'cause I chose this body. I honor my wisdom by battling the journey on this earth of mine, mine. Ooh. Love warrior, that's what they call me. Love warrior, that's what they named me. These angels in my mind, in my mind. I chose you and you chose me to heal this land with love and grace. I chose you and you chose me to trust. I feel your love and I love you too. I love you too. I love you. Take a breath to harmonize the way I grow. Prayers manifested, let my roots be deep in the ancient knowing. This is my calling to love, love. Love warrior, that's what they name Constellations on my skin. Constellations guiding me within. One day, star child will return to my heart. She'll walk me all the way home.
Thank you so much, Chance. That's so wonderful. Let me just turn off the recording.